Ready to rock and roll? All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to welcome you all to the special meeting of the governing body of Spring Hill, Kansas on Tuesday, December 30th, 2025. We don't have a pastor available this evening, but if you guys want to stand with me, I'll go ahead and do the invocation. Father God, thank you once again for bringing us all here together to try to make the best decisions for our community and for the citizens here of Spring Hill, God. Thank you as we're entering into a new year, God. I ask you to bless the upcoming year, God, and help us to continue to make the best decisions for our community. In Jesus' name, amen. Please remain standing for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do have a couple council people joining us remotely. So with that, Deputy Madam Clerk, if you could please take the roll.
Mr. Young,
Here.
Mr. Peel,
Here.
Mr. Thrawn, Ms. Feeback,
Here.
Mr. Grant,
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll move on to the consent agenda. These are items that the staff considers to be routine maintenance, but if there are any questions or comments, now would be the time. If not, I entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0-0. Next, we'll move on to formal council action, and the first item on the agenda is consider appointment of community development director. The person I am recommending today, I had a chance to sit down with him for probably an hour and a half and talk with him, kind of drill him with some questions and just kind of find out a little bit about him, his past work history. And amongst the candidates, he stood out by far amongst the others. So Mr. Mike Mallon is the person I'm recommending. He has over 20 plus years in planning and development throughout his career. And then he also has a bachelor's in geography and urban regional development, and then also a master's in urban and regional planning. So he's got a lot of experience. He's been involved in several different cities. One of them is a pretty large city in the Kansas City metro area and has very good success throughout his career. So we're blessed and happy to have him on our team. So with that, I recommend that we appoint Mike Mallon as the Community Development Director.
Do we require a motion or anything on this? We're just gonna vote. The only thing I'll say is I got to be a part of the interview process and was very impressed with Mike, and I'm looking forward to working with you. So glad to have you on.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I entertain a motion.
I don't think we motion. We're just gonna vote.
Oh,
You can just,
Roll
so it's
call.
a recommendation, so you can either roll call or do a call of voices.
oh yeah.
Since we have people
we'll just do
remote,
roll
maybe
call.
a roll call.
Deputy Madam Clerk, could you take the roll?
Mr. Grant, Ms. Feeback, Mr. Peel,
Yes.
Mr. Young,
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0-0. Welcome to the team. Would you like to say anything, Mike? You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you want to step up to the microphones, the people online can hear you. Welcome to the team. We're happy to have you.
Thank you. Just want to say how excited I am for this opportunity and to thank the mayor-elect, and all the members of City Council, and very much looking forward to working with this wonderful staff here for the growth and future of the city of Spring Hill.
Awesome. Well, thank you,
you.
sir. Appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
All right. Next item on the agenda is consider ordinance number 2025-26, annexing land of the city of Spring Hill, Kansas. William J. Mills and Susan R. Mills for parcel ID number 9F241-505-1001 and 9F241-505-3002 and 9F241-505-2001 at the southeast corner of 191st Street and Renner Road. Mr. Lau, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. So I'll keep this fairly brief. This is an annexation ordinance. The next item before you will also be me. That's the annexation agreement. I'm going to present them as one single item for two separate votes rather than you hearing me say the same thing twice. So just over 316 acres at 191st and Renner. It's a request annexation. So voluntary there. Happy to have it in. Nothing too noteworthy with this other than it's a good amount of ground coming into the city. So
Yeah, this is always nice when they're voluntary. You know, a lot of times we try to chase some of these people, so it's nice when they just come in voluntarily. So yeah, we're happy to have them. And are there any other questions or comments?
No.
If not, I entertain a motion.
Let me get back over there. Move to adopt annexation ordinance 2025-26, annexing the subject property into the city of Spring Hill, Kansas.
Second.
I've got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, Deputy Madam Clerk, could you please take the roll?
Ms. Feback? Yes. Mr. Peel?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Grant? Mayor, ordinance 2025-26 passes 4-0-0.
All right, next item on the agenda is consider an annexation agreement between William J. Mills and Susan R. Mills, the city of Spring Hill, Kansas, for the parcels previously described at the southeast corner of 191st Street and Renner Road. And Mr. Lau, you still have the floor.
all right, a little disappointed we didn't hear the numbers again, but I understand. This is the annexation agreement. So you all, the ordinance is what brings it in. Annexation agreement is an agreement between the city and the property owner setting forth the terms of that annexation. So that's in your packet. That's all in there. Nothing too noteworthy on this one that hasn't happened on many annexations before, but again, here for questions if you have any. So
I didn't see any kind of agreement to certain terms outside of just being able to de-annex if they need to or whatnot. So as long as that's the case, it sounds good to me.
Yep. Any other questions or comments? If not, I entertain a motion.
I move to approve the annexation agreement between William J. Mills and Susan R. Mills, collectively referred to herein as the property owners, and City of Spring Hill, and authorize the mayor to execute the agreement.
I've got a motion. There's a second.
Second.
All-
I was trying to give you a chance that time.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0-0. Last item on formal council action is consider selection of a firm that will provide the city with expertise and experience conducting a comprehensive classification and compensation study to include a benefits analysis. And Mrs. Jones, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So I am here to provide some additional information that I was directed to do at the December 11th meeting. As you recall, I presented the firms that submitted their quotes to be the one that would collaborate with us to do this additional study. And the directive was to see if I could go back and negotiate to get all of them to agree to the $28,200 cost. So while I was doing that, I then made sure that I confirmed the size team, aligning the timeline, and any additional services so that we can make sure that we're comparing apples to apples on all of them. I put in a little chart there that shows the findings of the negotiations that I did. So one of the vendors was able to come down to the 28.2. The other one was able to get a little bit closer to it. But as you can see from the table that I submitted, when you look at the amount of team members that are going to be dedicated to us, as well as the timeline, as well as the services, there's one team that or one vendor that I may think falls down, but the other two, McGrath and CBiz, are the ones to consider. But based off of the additional services, the recommendation is still to go with CBiz as the vendor to partner with the city. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to go over that with you.
Oh, good job.
Yep. Yeah, and it looks like they're dedicating more people to it.
Yeah.
And like you
Their
said, the
timeline's a
additional
little bit
services,
smaller.
yeah. So yeah, while the others were able to come down, there's still the one, is about equal with it, but doesn't have as many services, and then the other one only has one person and others is needed versus 3 to 4. So yeah, and plus they're higher. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you doing the extra effort. We've seen in some instances, like with Jacob and Public Works Department, when they went back, they saved a significant amount of money by going back and chasing our rabbit trail. This time maybe it didn't quite save us some money. So
Well, $4,000.
Yeah. a little bit.
yeah, we'll take it. Any other questions or comments? Oh. Yeah, every
Thank
little
you.
bit counts.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I entertain a motion.
Move to approve selection of CBiz as the firm to provide the expertise and experience to conduct a comprehensive classification and compensation study to include a benefits and total rewards analysis for a cost of $28,200 and give Mayor Joe Berkey authorization to execute the contract.
Second.
3 at a time.
Got a motion in 3 seconds. Is there any further discussion? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0-0. Thank you very much. Next, we'll move on to, that ends formal council action. This time, we'll move on to a discussion item. This is something that I had brought up. I've had discussions over the last few years about kind of beautifying the city a little bit as you drive into town. We have, flags and stuff on some of the flagpoles, but 3/4 of them are missing and some of them are broken, and it just doesn't look that great as you're driving through town on Webster coming from the north or the south with 3/4 of the poles missing the flags that are supposed to be there and stuff. And so I just kind of something I want to do, something small and simple that I think we could do to just make our town look a little bit better. And then we change them, for Christmas. There's Christmas flags that go up, and so they get changed a few times a year. But for the most time, it's flags. I just thought it'd be nice to include all those poles through there, or as many as possible, to install some flags on there. Just to do something small that we can do to make it look nicer as you drive into town. I know a lot of other small communities and towns do that, and it does look really nice as you're driving in town. So, Mr. Spear, if you have anything to add on that, I know you've looked into it a little bit. I know there's some of the poles that we might not be able to do it to, but just what we can do, I feel like it's up to us to do small things like that just to make our town look a little nicer as you enter them.
Sure. Thank you, Mayor. Just to give you a little background on this, so kind of some terminology. So we've got flags out there. They're brackets to hold a pole. Right now we have the U.S. flags on there. We also have banners, and those are kind of those seasonal, can be changed out, or rectangular, that are attached top and bottom of the banner that hangs alongside of the poles. So we have flags and the brackets to mount those, and then we have the banners as well. So out there right now along Webster, and kind of to orient you, we're talking from North Street to Victory is kind of the range there along Webster. Currently, we have had 30 flags existing. They are generally placed, this isn't exact, but it's basically on every other pole, and they're kind of staggered, the east side and west side, so that they, rather than directly across from one another, they're offset or staggered. So there are currently 30 poles out there that have flags on them. 10 of them have banners. And we have ordered, as the mayor mentioned, those have fallen into disrepair. So we have ordered and received the mounting, new mounting brackets for all 30 of the flags. In fact, we ordered 35 of them just so that we'll then have some spares on hand. And so those brackets have been ordered, and we have those in our possession. We've also got the flags. We're waiting on the vendor that has a bucket truck that does the installation, and just as soon as his schedule will allow, all 30 of those will be changed out with new flags. Now, in addition to those, there are other poles out there that could be candidates if you wanted to add flags and or banners. For the flags, sticking with proper flag etiquette, because those are out 24 hours a day, they need to be lighted. So really only the poles that have streetlights on them are an option. There are other poles out there, but they don't have a light on them. So there are metal poles with lights that have no other obstructions. I'll call them clean metal poles that would be a candidate. There are 19 additional metal poles out there that are candidates, and then there are another 7 wooden poles. So 40 poles total have flags or banners today, and there are another 26 that could be candidates if you want to add to that count. Installation for the flags, mounting brackets, the flags, and installation running around $215 each, give or take $5 or $10. So that on a scale of magnitude, if we wanted to add them to all 26 poles out there that don't have them today, we'd be looking at somewhere around $5,600 or so. Happy to answer any questions you have.
Yeah, and for me, there's areas where you go where there's just, either some of them have broken over the years, the brackets have broken off, and so there'll be a flag, and then you'll go, quite a ways before you see another flag, or there'll be one here and not one here, and then one here, and so just to kind of fill it in and make it look more uniform and stuff, and then just make it look better. It's kind of my idea, but I'll open up the floor to anybody else what they think on it.
Yeah.
No, that $215 each times the 26 poles that don't have anything on them today, that would be the roughly $5,600. Like I said,
You've already paid for the existing that are being repaired?
existing ones are already paid for. So those 35 brackets to restore the 30 poles that have had them in the past. And we're just waiting on that vendor to be available to put those up. So I think, to the mayor's point, it will look very different here within the next couple of weeks as soon as they come in. There are, like I said, 30 out of 30 poles have the brackets and flag, or can have the flags on them today. And then there would be another 26. So that is running pretty close to just a little over every other pole has the flags, or will have, with these ones that have already been purchased. And then the question is, do we want to add to that count? No, the lights are these street lights. So we're taking advantage of the existing overhead street lights, the
Yeah.
poles that have the street lights on it.
Yeah, we don't have to install any lights. It'd be the street lights that are already there.
And the flags stay up year round,
Flags stay up year round.
and
Yes.
the banners are more seasonal.
Banners are more seasonal, right?
What different seasons? Like, how many times do we change those?
So right now, we really just have, I think we have some fall banners that try to go out around fall festival time, and we have some Christmas holiday banners. That's what we have right now. Possibilities are almost limitless. That's a standard size, and so they make those for all seasons, holidays, events. As many of them as we want to buy and pay to have
to
installed
put 'em
and
up.
taken down.
The more you buy, the more you gotta switch them.
Exactly.
Yeah, my only concern when I first heard this was to make sure that the lighting was covered, because I didn't think paying for lighting would be worth it. But if we have that many that we can do that have current lighting, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and I think when they're all up there, I think people will notice. It'll be a significant change to because I've probably had no less than 10 to 12 people mention something to me about the sporadic flags throughout town and how it's not very uniform, and there's a bunch of them missing or broken. Or my wife was actually out on a run one morning, and one of them was just laying on the ground on the sidewalks.
Well, that was my
It's
other
snapped
question
off,
is,
so.
are we gonna have some sort of maintenance program for the flags as they start to, I'm sure some will deteriorate faster than others, and making sure we don't keep them up there if they're.
Yeah, so we've found a vendor who's willing and able to work on those. We don't have they're up just tall enough that it really, you need a bucket truck to get to those and access them, and we don't have one in our fleet, and honestly, given the cost of one for just to change out seasonal banners, that's not a cost that we
On
can
top of the new
justify.
sewer truck.
Yeah, the boom on that might reach. Anyway, so yeah, I would recommend sticking with the vendor now that we found a vendor. But we are still like right now. We've been waiting a couple of weeks for those that we've had the parts, the materials to install them. We've just been waiting on the availability of the company to do the installation. That will continue. We'll still be kind of at
their mercy.
At their mercy.
Okay. No, yeah, just as long as we can maintain all the flags, that's another concern, so.
Well, I think years down the road, if we do end up, if there ends up being a need for a bucket truck for other things, then we can maybe utilize our own staff to do that, at that point.
Yeah, as we add, not today or tomorrow, but as we add, traffic signals to our list of infrastructure that we maintain, then that will necessitate a truck, and then we can do other things like these seasonal banners and flags, things like that with it as well.
Any other comments or questions?
No, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think as long as those things are covered, then, it's one thing for the initial cost. It's thinking about later on, how do we maintain the flags? How do
Yep.
we make sure that they're not messed up and the lights stay on?
And they're pretty good quality flags that should last for quite a few years.
And Evergy owns all these lights?
Yeah.
Or do
Yeah.
we? Okay.
Yeah, they're all owned by Evergy, and we have a pole attachment agreement.
Okay, I was gonna say, that's the
them.
other thing. Is there anything we have to pay to them for those new ones?
Yeah, that's already done, and we pay them for the street lights as well. There's a monthly cost per light that covers the energy that's consumed as well as the maintenance. They change out lights when they're burned out or the photo cell goes bad.
So if we go with all these new ones, where would it kind of start now, and where would it end as far as it's all in Webster?
So it's all on Webster, and those numbers that I gave you are in that stretch between, North Street, 207th, down to Victory.
Yeah,
So
basically.
Sonic to
Yeah,
Dollar
Son-
Tree.
Yeah, Sonic's
Yeah.
Dollar, where the curve kind of starts is where they
Yeah.
kind of end. And
Okay.
most of the poles kind of end there anyways, minus a
Right.
sporadic one.
I was gonna say Webster gets pretty dark once you pass Victory,
Yeah.
so there's not a whole lot of.
Yeah,
light
they're-
there.
Exactly. That's kind of where the poles start and stop.
And that's where your speed limit drops to 32, so where you're
Yeah.
driving slower too, you might notice the banners and stuff.
Did we look at anything over by like Price Chopper? Or is there to continue it back that way? Since that's kind of a,
I don't know there's many poles that way.
I'm trying to think on, is that what is?
I know there's some lights down that way, but I don't know the frequency of the poles is what
Yeah,
it is
I don't think it's,
Yeah.
north of Victory.
it would look pretty sporadic down there, I
Yeah.
think.
I'm just wondering if we're doing it, might as well do it all at one time.
I don't have any problem with investing in this, especially to make sure that the flags look good and clean and are well maintained and not beat up by the weather. Me personally, I would lean more towards putting new investment into more banners, trying to kind of level that out
I think
numbers
I think
wise.
more banners too would be good.
But I also know that the banners is multiple changes throughout the year potential, and I know that creates more difficulty. So like whatever the happy medium area might be with that, the flags are a lot easier because it's not up and down every year. It's you put it up until it wears out and then you replace it. So,
And
but
I agree on the banners for sure. I'd love to see more of those because they are pretty sporadic as well. My
Yeah,
thought is
but
just
like-
get started with the flags, and then if we decide to do banner,
I don't think you
banners
could
as
do
well.
more than maybe 3 or 4 changes per year tops. Maybe even 2 would be more realistically labor wise with what our workload is. That I just, as cool as it is and as good as it looks, I don't know that that's the best way for our guys to be spending their time with other things that we need to do.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, the banners also present there's a storage issue.
Yeah.
Where do you keep the ones that aren't in use?
And they get lost and yeah.
Sorry, going back to the flags, what about like Main Street or where they do Fall Festival? I know there's quite a few around there. Should we look at that too while we're doing it?
We can. Yeah, I haven't,
I don't know what your thought is on that.
I think it'd be cool to have them along Main Street for sure. I don't know about lining it all the way to there, just because there's so many trees and blockages kind of going down the two one-way streets, you know.
Well, I'm just talking about on Main Street.
But yeah, on Main Street, I think would be awesome to have.
There's poles down, I think there's 6 or 8 poles down there. We do Christmas lights over there, and we got some new Christmas tree stationary pole mount ones that went up there, and I think we're looking at adding 3 or 4 more to hit all the poles, so.
Nice.
yeah, I'll take a look at that. I can get back with you there. We also have to look at, because the brackets that the poles, that the flags and flagpole goes into, it clamps on, around the outside of the pole. So if there are conduits and service drops and transformers,
Well, there are on
that-
Main Street.
then that sometimes will take a pole out of consideration. It's just not an option then.
I'm just trying to think, if we're doing it and they're gonna be out here, we might as well look at
Yeah.
all the places we're thinking about.
Yeah, if we can do Main Street, I say let's go ahead, and it's all within, you know, it's within the dollar limits and everything that we're allowed. But I just wanted to bring it before you
Yeah.
guys, because I didn't want it to be just something that I was like, hey, I want to do this, but I didn't think anybody would really oppose it, but I want to at least
Yeah.
get your guys' opinion on it.
No, sounds good, I think.
All
I think it's a
good.
good idea.
You guys are okay with the general idea, we'll also look down South Harrison and Main Street,
Yeah,
you know, if it adds another 1,000.
couple
Doesn't
thousand.
sound like it's even gonna add much. I mean, Main Street's pretty short.
Yeah, if it's eight poles, I mean, you're talking.
I just figured we use that city park enough if there's anything over there, since it might be nice to have it.
Yeah.
For different events, so,
Okay,
Check it out.
thank you.
Thank you.
cool, thanks.
So with that, we don't really need to vote on it, I don't think, as long as you guys are cool with it, we'll plow forward.
Just do it.
Just-
All right, cool guys. All right, that ends discussion item, and move on to executive session number 1. Let's see, how many minutes do we have on that one? 15, yep.
Why don't we do 10 on this one?
10?
10, okay.
Okay.
Move the city council recess into executive session for 10 minutes to receive advice of council regarding economic development pursuant to KSA 754319B2 of the Kansas Open Meetings Act. The open meeting will resume in the city council chambers at 12:38 p.m. No formal action is anticipated. Following the session, persons to be in attendance are the following: Lane Massey, city administrator, and Spencer Lau, city attorney.
Second.
Got a motion second, is there any further discussion? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0-0. We will see you guys shortly, and those you two online, we'll call you here in a second. All right, welcome back, everyone. Let the record reflect that the governing body reconvened in open meeting at 12:38 p.m. No votes were taken or decisions made during the executive session. The discussion was limited to subject stating. With that, I entertain a motion to move into executive session number 2.
Still good for 10 minutes? Yeah. Okay. I move the city council recess into executive session for 10 minutes for the preliminary discussion of the acquisition of real property pursuant to KSA 754319B6 of the Kansas Open Meetings Act. The open meeting will resume in the city council chambers at 12:50 p.m. No formal action is anticipated following the session. Persons to be in attendance are the following: Lane Massey, Jacob Spear, Allison Abel, and Spencer Lau.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0-0. See you soon. All right, welcome back, everyone. Let the record reflect that the governing body reconvened in open meeting at 12:50 p.m. No votes were taken or decisions made during the executive session. The discussion was limited to the subject stated, and with that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0-0. Have a great night, everyone. You too. I guess it's not quite nice.
Not even one yet.
That's like, I guess.